The following is a presentation of National Speed Sport News.
Tonight on Speed Sport Magazine, Joey Saldana talks about sprint car racing. AJ remembers his days on dirt. And we go to Jacksonville Speedway for some great dirt modified action. It's time to wave the green flag for Speed Sport Magazine. Hi everybody and welcome to Speed Sport Magazine. I'm Ralph Sheheen. For the next hour, as we promised, we will deliver the news that shapes our great sport of racing. And to kick it off, we start with a bullet. Joey Saldana's sprint car career spans over 20 years. He's won big races and championships. Saldana was on the fast track 5 years ago while driving for Casey Kane Racing. He eventually parted ways with KKR in 2013, leaving him without a ride. Then in steps longtime car owner Dan Motter, returning to the sport after a 15-year absence. They've won races and have enjoyed some success along the way, enough to earn Joey 95 World of Outlaw wins, putting him 7th all time. I had a chance recently to sit down with the man they call the Brownsburg Bullet, and we talked about his season, family, and the current issues of sprint car racing. Joey, as you take a look at where you are this year, how do you size up the season?
I'd say we're still at a B. We could be a lot better, but a B last year and a B this year is totally different. I mean, this year we definitely were solid every night, and we have a shot, so that's all you can ask for.
What's different with the team this year that's making them a better B?
I think the biggest thing for our team is just getting a bigger notebook, just racing more and just learning each other. We are who we are. We don't have a huge budget like a lot of teams. We have what we have, do the best what we can with what we have, and if it's a second, a first, if it's a 9th, if it's a 13th, then that's what it is. Build on that, get better. Right now I feel like we're a really strong team, but that 9 team, Darren Pittman's just been on fire. And you know, we're solid top 5s every night. We're hanging in there with him, and that's all we can do. And just hopefully at the end of the year, we have a legit shot to race these guys for a championship.
Joey Saldana in that 71M. There he is in the Motor car, battling with Thorson, the USAC star.
Always wanting to improve himself, Saldana has been racing dirt sprint karts to hone his driving skills even further. You've had the opportunity now to run these outlaw sprint karts. Put it into perspective for me and for the viewer at home. As a guy who's made his living driving arguably one of the most vicious race cars on the planet, what are these things like?
Well, I'm not that good at it.
He's got the final transfer, but they stack up over him too. Saldana's involved, Allen is involved.
So I can tell you how they feel, but I haven't figured out how to drive them. I think one thing about them is, and I think that's why you're seeing a lot of these young kids come from them and be very successful in bigger cars, is they got a lot of power. They got a lot of power, they don't weigh a lot. So the biggest thing for a driver is you're trying to figure out how to get traction. And with our cars, we're the same way. And I think these little cars right here kind of translate that to a sprint car or a midget. And then I think when guys move on to the next level, like a Kyle Larson, they've learned how to make the tires grip into the racetrack and drive sideways. I could definitely see where something like this would be very beneficial for a young kid trying to move up. For me, my son has one, and when he's ready to get in it and go, I would love for him to run them, and I think this would be the best thing to get him ready to go to that next level.
As a top driver in sprint car racing, as you look at the sport itself now, what scares you about it?
The cost. I mean, I have a son that's 10 years old, and luckily he's into baseball right now, but he has a quarter midget and an outlaw kart, and I would love for him to have the passion and love for the sport that I have. But I think the problem isn't the quarter midget and the outlaw kart. It's if he has the ability to race, if he is talented enough for race, you know, how can I get him to that next level? You know, I may never be able to give that opportunity to my son if he's talented enough to do it. And it just seems like every year the cost just elevates more and more and more. And that's the scary part. I mean, if my son was a Kyle Larson, if he was a prodigy driver like a Tony Stewart, you know, will he get that opportunity to show everybody how good he is? And he may never do that just for the fact that he may never have the financial backing to show his ability behind the wheel of a race car. It's just a scary situation to be in right now in racing for myself, that I would want him to race at that next level and move on, and I don't know if I could do that for him. You know, a motor was $30,000 15 years ago, and that could go win you a Knoxville Nationals or a Kings Royal or a championship. But in today's world, to really have a shot at winning an outlaw show, your motor's $50,000, so, you know, $60,000. So it's gotten pretty ridiculous in the cost of racing one of these cars. The tires cost more, the cars cost more, fuel costs more, motels. The whole aspect of racing an outlaw team is just elevated to an outrageous amount of money, and that's probably why I don't have a team no more. But Dan, he's grabbed the bull by the horns, and he's tried to come out and be competitive. Last year we did what we could with what we had, and this year we're doing the same thing. What we have now is old school racing, just enjoying ourselves, having fun, and going on to the next race, and hopefully it's a W, but definitely not pressuring ourselves into thinking that winning's all it's about. I learned at a young age, even with my dad, that, you know, you're always looking for a job in racing. Helmet bags are cheap, so, you know, you gotta find a job, and my dad did that a lot. You know, back then they had to jump around cars, you know, different owners, and it was a different process then. And today it's try and find a home, be there for as long as you can, and hopefully you could retire there. You know, for me, that's what I wanted at KKR, but it didn't happen. I think everything we're doing right now is just from hard knocks and learning from mistakes from my career, 20-year career. And if it wasn't for all that and the whole process, I don't think I could be where I'm at right now. So I like Joey Saldana right now. I don't know if it's perfect, but it's a work in progress, and every day it seems to be getting better.
The day after that interview was shot, Joey went on to a clean sweep at Charlotte. He won his heat, the dash, and pocketed a cool 12 grand after winning the A-Main. I think those dirt sprint cars just might be helping a little bit. Coming up, we head to Wisconsin for AMA action, and later we sit down with Anthony Joseph Foyt. Race fans, whether you love dirt, asphalt, two wheels, or four, you need to be Speed Sport equipped with cool t-shirts, awesome caps, and great Speed Sport swag. You can get your limited edition merchandise now. Just go to nationalspeedsportnews.com, click on the store link, and start shopping. Throwback tees, shop racks, and everything you need to be ready for the races. That's nationalspeedsportnews.com. Click the store link.